Our next stop was to meet a friend, Nick. He had done just that, moved back to his hometown after living on the West Coast for many years. For Nick, it wasn't just about going home. It was about going home with the idea of bringing some much-needed change. We met with Nick because he had decided to move home and run for Congress.
Where did you first get the idea that you would run?
I looked up who was the congressman for the place that I grew up in because it spurred some excitement. And I looked this guy up and he was terrible. It hurt me, honestly, that the person who is representing this area is a dude who's been in office 12 years. He takes all this money from corporate pharmaceutical companies. He takes all this money from oil and gas companies when he's supposed to be regulating these industries. It's not right that someone can represent an area, honestly not give a shit about the people that he's representing. I wonder what would happen if I moved back to Ohio and just ran against him. Win or lose, you just run a good race and it helps Democrats up and down the ballot. Politics itself, I never thought of that as a career. When people were like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? I never thought of politician as an actual job. When I think of the Democratic Party and what I want to represent, a voice for working people. A lot of people look to Washington and they see a system that's broken. And then they see someone like me who is a first-time candidate who actually struggles to afford insurance, knows what it's like to have an hourly wage job, and they know that I'm going to be fighting for them. That's what it's going to take. New, young, working-class candidates who get into Washington and say, the system isn't working, and so we're not going to play by the current rules.